everybody. This is Terry from Sweet Pea Papers, the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group, the Junk Journal Tutorials and More Facebook group, and the Junk Journal and Papercrafts Facebook group. And I would like to welcome you to Out with a Bang collaboration of 2026. We did this last year too. And the hashtag is hashtag Out with a Bang 26. Okay. And we're thrilled to announce the return of our Out with a Bang collaboration, and it runs from the 1st of August, today's the 6th, to the 31st of August. And there's loads of fabulous creators every day. I think there's 2 videos a day, most days, 31 days of ideas and inspiration, and freebies, lots of freebies. So make sure the links are going to be below the video, to everybody. Each YouTube channel, a link to the playlist, which is kind of easier to do, to just go to the playlist and see which new one has been added. It's hosted by Mandy from Sunflowers and Doors and Julie from Julie's Papercraft. Now, what was I going to say? Both of these shops are running the 2 kits, the Beloved and the Heritage Sunflower kits. I believe it's 20% off or 25% off. I forgot to look. I'm so sorry. But anyway, go to their Etsy shops and you can get that. The link below to the Facebook group for Mandy is where you get all the freebies, I believe. And I think, yeah, see, look at our busy schedule. There's 2 people on these days where you see people listed across there. Okay, so now today is the 6th. We go across Terry Sweet Pea Papers Faded Ink Aesthetic. Okay, so the papers that I'm using are the heirloom, not heritage, but heirloom sunflowers from Julie's Papercraft. And let's see. Yeah, Faded Aesthetic is what we're going to do. Not really sure. I had a little trouble with this. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do some inking, but first we're going to take a look at what we're going to do. Okay. Oh, actually, there are, I believe, 70 pages in the sunflower kit. There's a lot in the other one too. These are some of the things. I cut these out and then I decided they were too big for our project. This one, these are 2 windows that I'm not using, but I did cut out a window for us to put in the project. Here's some extra sunflowers that I didn't use. I cut out sunflowers, 4 or 5 of them, and some labels and more frames, I think. Yeah, I had to print this page twice because I wanted to get one of these cards to put in the frame I'd already cut. So I couldn't print the back. All right, let me put these up here in case I need a flower or something. Let me put them up there. And this is what we're going to do today. I've already cut it out. I went ahead and folded it to make sure it was going to match up. This is in one of the, there's 2 that look similar. Let me get this. Oh, I think the inking will get it, but let me get it anyway. Of these trifolds. Now this one is supposed to be 3 cards, to tell you the truth. That's why there's, or 3 tags. That's why there's white in the center. But I folded it on the white, and I did one in this way and the other this way, and this is going to be our front page. Where's my... And this is going to be, there's a little, it doesn't fold exactly even, because if you let it fold exactly even, then this part is too far in and you won't be able to close this part. We may tie it shut with a little ribbon because we're going to put some stuff inside. I'm going to use this paper to make a belly band. Here's some ephemera that I cut out. These are the fussy cuts up here. Look at these envelopes. Aren't they precious? I just love them. And then these are some tags that have matching tags in different sizes. So I thought it might be fun to take one and maybe hook them all together with a ribbon or something. I don't know. We don't have a ton of time. I don't want to keep you. I just want to show you something fun. You can do this with either kit. They both have trifolds. Now I'm just gonna put some kind of something here. I think it'd be inside the frame up here a bit. And I really think it needs writing on it. We'll put some lace behind it. We're not going to do that yet. We're going to put it together first. But we need to do a little something right here and not just leave the front by itself, but it's gorgeous, isn't it? And as you can see, the picture continues over, and this is like a whole one piece of paper. So I like that. And there's lots of writing. Oh, when you go to print these, turn your fit to page off, because these are European sized kits, both of them, both kits. And if you go with fit to page or borderless, it brings the picture up so that it fills the edges, and then you lose part of the picture on the edges. So you don't want to do that. Okay, so let's start out with the easy stuff. Let's do our pockets. Now we're going to have 2 pockets on the inside and then a pocket on the back. Oh, first we need to ink. Let's do that, because I was going to show you. Let me grab a stencil. Will this work? Will this pattern work? Okay, what I want to do is I want to stencil on here. Let me look. I should have. And we're going to fade it. So we're going to make it darker at the top and fade out at the bottom to where our pocket's going to be. I think that one will work. It's got a B on there, though. I should have got the stencils out ahead of time, but now I'm recording and we're going to be using, oops, come here. It's under the lace. Accidentally dropped some lace on it. This is what I want. Well, that's black soot. I have them labeled. Oh, I know where it is. It's in another projects tray. A project that I got half done with. Letters from the Attic. And so we had time for was half. You know, I really like this one. I like this one too with the rings. Maybe we'll do that down here or over here. And what we're going to do, let me get my brush. I have so many stencils. Just too many. Ow, I just stubbed my toe. Oh, that's black. The 2 blacks. This must be dark brown ground in. Oh boy, that really hurt my toe. I whacked my toe. I'm such a klutz. Okay, let's get this off our backing paper, or our belly band paper. I knew what I wanted to do, and then I just didn't get the last part ready. I do not know why. So yeah, there's 2 more windows that you can cut out. There's different sizes, all that good stuff. Okay, let me set this over here out of the way. I like this stencil too. Maybe we could do this one in the center and do text on either side. How about that? We'll put it right in the middle so that this bigger part right here is in the center. And we're not going to go all the way to the edge. You have to keep your eye out for that little fold here and here. Okay, so we're going to start out. I need somewhere to put my ink pad so it doesn't slide around. Okay. Okay, and then we're just going to start at the top and make it fairly dark. Oh, come on. So I'm kind of scrubbing it and making it pretty dark, because this is Gathered Twigs, which is one shade darker than Vintage Photo. You may want to, use a different color. You could use a rose color, if you wanted something lighter. Okay, and then, and remember, we're going to have a belly band here. Oh, shoot. There we go. All right, so then we're going to fade out into the light part in the middle, because the pocket or the belly band is going to cover that, except on either side. All right, so then we're just going to go a little bit lighter. But you're still going to be able to definitely tell it's there. Okay, and then down here, we're just going to do a light touch. And it doesn't have to be perfect or anything like that. We're not going for something that we're going to need it to be perfect. I do want to try to keep it lined up, though. Okay, so now you can see it's darker at the top, it's lighter in the middle, and then it's really light at the bottom. And you'll be able to see that when you take the belly band cards that we put behind them off. Okay, I think it turned out pretty good. I like it. I like it. Okay, now let's take... Oh, look, these two are exactly the same. I'm going to have to put this in my giveaway pile for when I do the next giveaway. No wonder I liked them both. Okay, we're going to take this one below the B. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to make the... Let's see. Make the text darker at the top, which isn't very hard. It's easy to do this with the words like this. And I put this down below the B so that I could use it. And then we'll have our... You can do that dark enough. You have to kind of scrub it. I think I said that. Especially when you have this little text like this. It's hard to get the bristles down in there. Oh goodness, I moved it and it's got all that text on there. Let's move it up, since I can't see where I left off. And then we'll just take a few swipes down here. Well, that's really light. Fortunately, our pocket's going to be there. And I'm wearing different reading glasses today. I decided to wear these little round ones that I have, and they're just sliding right down my nose. Okay. I think we could put this here and it would be okay. Yeah, the stamp doesn't show over here. I wish I had done a better stenciling job, but hard to get it. We also could have used paste and you know, faded it out to nothing and then inked it, okay, to get our ink effect. That's what we're going for. That's our prompt, is ink. Faded ink aesthetics, I believe. So I'm trying to fade some ink for you. Hopefully it is aesthetically pleasing. Then we'll fulfill our whole title. Oh, I did that dark. I don't know what I was thinking. Well, it'll be faded around the rest of it. Yeah, it fades out over here. Okay. Not sure we're going to stencil anymore. We might. So I'm going to keep that right there. Okay, now we're going to get our pockets. Let me get this out. Everything is this side. Now we're going to have to take the gussets off to make them fit. They're too wide for this, but they do fit on pages and everything, you know, but this is kind of narrow. So the image continues, I believe. There's cards. Yeah. That goes there. Does this go here? Nope. That goes there. This goes here, but we're going to put it on the back. Okay. Man, I'm hungry. Starving. I just decided to do this. This is not really the 6th, but it's close enough. Closer than I usually wait to do a video. Usually I'm already done weeks ahead of time. I've got my one for the 15th. That one was done in the beginning of June. And as soon as we got the papers. And then I made one before I remembered we were using prompts. So I made another project that's pretty fun. It was a stuffed envelope. I guess. Oh, is that narrow enough? Cutting just that off? No. Okay, now we're going to have to get the card to fit. Let's turn it this way. Now we need enough room for the glue. So I think we need to take some off either side. I know I drew it on here. Oh, there it is. You couldn't see it the way the light was. And if you do it even on both sides, then you'll still have your thing. If not, you can just repunch it. That looks like it'll be fine. And it's going to go here. Yeah, this one's trimmed down enough. Let me make this tag the same size as this one by cutting it on both sides. They may be too tall as well. We may have to trim the tops down. I don't want to make them too small though, and we're going to put other ephemera in there with it. That's why we might have to tie them closed. This one's got a little bit of white on the bottom. Apparently I can't cut with a paper trimmer. It's a little teeny bit. Okay. We're going to ink these and we're going to make them a little darker at the bottom and just kind of fade it out at the top and just put enough up here to cover the white. Okay. And that way it kind of looks, I don't know how to describe it, aged maybe from the bottom up. So we can also just go around and ink the whole thing. Okay, then go back and darken the parts we want to darken, and then you know you've got all the edges done first. Let's do the bottom, make it darker. I should have, just going to kind of scruff them up a little bit, but it's too late now. I mean, I could ink it all over again, but I don't really want to. You just take your little Tim Holtz, and all it is a round razor blade. And so if you have something, you could even do this with your scissors. Just be careful. You're using something sharp. And then you just take this and you go along, and it makes it all rough. It looks older. So we don't have a lot of time, so I'm not going to get too fancy, but you guys can take off with your design ideas. I'm just showing you how to build it, and then you can go to town and decorate it. And of course, after the video's over, I'll finish decorating this, and then in the photo for the video, you'll see it, and that will let you know how it did actually turn out. I mean, as far as, you know, if we don't have time to put a cluster here or something, you know. Okay. And see how that's darker at the bottom and it fades out at the top. Okay. And you think you don't notice it because of the flower, but you do. You can. Parts of the flower will be darker, and it will give you the same effect. Okay? Okay. Sorry if I say that too much. I say, you know. Okay. There's that. And then this is the pocket for over there. Did I already do this? Yes. Okay, so let's put them on. And of course, you're just going to glue the sides and the bottom. Try to use a really thin bead, but enough to hold it on. Okay. Now there's lines from the postcard, and there's a light it carries over a little bit, so you can kind of get it straight, hopefully, across the page and during placement. Okay. That's why I put the pocket up a little bit, so the tag wouldn't be super small. But it's just going to be the back tag. There will be others. I might should have used the gusseted pockets, but I just don't have very much luck with them. All the stuff not falling out all the time. I guess I could have drawn a line. It seems like it's up a little bit now that I moved it up. That looks better. Plus we'll have the belly band in the middle. Let's put that on. So we get our big piece of paper. And I'm going to see if it's possible you can even line this right up. Okay. I'm going to take this. And it's 3 inches across. I want to do a 2-inch belly band because I was going to do a double belly band. Let's go 1.5. And I think looking at the colors on this page, because the postcard stuff is here. That's why I use the stamps and stuff, you know. I think I like this the best. So let's cut this at 1.5 inches. And once we glue it down, then I'm going to trim these by looking at it from the other side. Okay. Then we'll glue this or ink this. Okay. And then we will make it, this is the bottom, the dark. Actually, I think I wanted to do it this way. This is cut off crooked. That's right at that curve, so all I'll have to do is trim the edges. I don't know, maybe we should put the blue at the bottom because this looks lighter. The paper looks lighter, so we'll make the bottom half darker. This would have looked good with black ink too because of the dark, 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 dark brown in the sunflowers. Iced tea break. That's why. Oh, wait. I guess I'll put this on the back. I don't think we're going to be able to use our doubles. I was going to punch the holes out and tie them together with a ribbon, a thin ribbon, and then, you know, just put them in a pocket. But I want to make this into a pocket. I'll show you how to do that. You should have seen me cutting that out too, kids. I forgot to ink this. So I'll do that now. We need to cover up that white. I sure don't like to cut from this way. Yeah, I did catch a little bit of it. You can leave the pockets and, you know, I mean the cards in there to do this. Remember, we're doing our scheme. Color scheme is darker at the bottom. So that way we're carrying the theme, right, throughout the whole thing, and it makes it more cohesive. I'm tipping it this way a little bit when I'm inking it too, to catch higher up on the page. We got our inking 101 going on. So all I'm going to do is just the regular at the top. Then I go back down and darken the corners by adding more ink and kind of scruffing it a little. Now we're going to do this part. But remember, we have to go darker at the bottom. We'll have to do it on both sides. And we might not be able to do our cluster or whatever. We're going to run out of time. I'm trying to move fast. I couldn't ink anything ahead of time because inking was the point. If you know what I mean. All right. All right, so we take the cards out. I know what it is. These glasses are laying like on my face. They're touching my face. I don't like it. They're touching my face. Mom. Normally, I'm going to be putting something here, pockets are crooked. Oh my. I should have drawn a light line with my ruler and then erased it after. That would have worked. Probably better than me sliding my pocket across the page to try to line it up. Possibly. So I want to do this pocket. Get darker in this corner. Okay, we've got it all inked up. We're following our pattern, right? Now we need to put something in here. You know, we're gonna put more in there too. Okay. This actually is part of this, kind of. Put it, it's kind of big. Maybe the lighter one. Put the little one in there. I'm going to get that stack of ephemera that I cut out. So we've got all this to pick from too, to put in our belly band. You know what? I'm gonna wait, because I don't want it to be all puffy right here when we do this. Now, I cut this out. I drew, oh goodness. I drew an X with my X-Acto knife or whatever, here and here. And then I cut this one out. And then I just started cutting around. I cut around it, and then I went in and out, I believe. And because that left more paper here, and you didn't have the chance of twisting this so much. Okay, so much of a chance to twist it. So you need to ink it on the inside to your preference. It wasn't an easy window to do, but you know, you just persist until you get it. There's still a couple white spots. I'm going to cover that with the ink now. Hopefully. And if you ink around the outside first, then you're better off, because it's harder to ink this when it's already done, you know. I'd like to thank Mandy and Julie for asking me to participate and giving me the opportunity to do 3 videos. So I'm excited about that. And that's Sweet Pea Papers on YouTube. All one word, of course. At Sweet Pea Papers. So the second one is bigger. It's a bigger project. It turned out really nice, though. I got Julie's approval to put the video up for it. I wasn't sure whether anybody was doing more than what was just on the calendar. I like this little trunk with the blankets and the sunflower. Okay, and then we're going to make the corners of this darker to make it look older. I like to do the front and the back on a card. I didn't do it on those others, so I'll have to go back and do it. And I print on the back of my cards unless my theme or whatever is got white trim in it. You know what I mean? And then if you want to leave a white on the back, you know, that's fine in my book. But I don't really like the look of flipping the card over and having it just be white. The person just cut it out and stuck it in there. That's the way I feel that's what they did. So, okay, let me set that there. Put this up here. We need a piece of acetate. It's a little too small, so we'll use this one. Now, we're going to make this a pocket, so I want you to line the acetate up to the top so when you glue it, it's even with the top, and that way your card won't catch going in and out. Oh, look at that. I don't even have to, oh yeah, I do. There's my Sharpie. You can use a Sharpie on acetate. So you can see your marks. I was going to start talking with it in my mouth. Oh, you got her. Okay. We're almost there. Glue the acetate on. Always make sure you ink before you put the acetate on. There is a way. You can just rub it on there, the ink, with their sponge dauber. And you could get the edges if you were using a darker color like a brown. Now I'm bringing mine down here just because I didn't feel like cutting the piece off. I'm being lazy. Usually I put that on the acetate. I don't know why I did it this way. Because then when you try to center it, it slides and then smear it out flat. Don't put too much glue on there. I got glue coming out everywhere. Make sure you don't get the glue on the acetate that you want to look through. Like that. Okay, so now we've got our pocket window. I was going to put a back on it. I like that color. Yeah, I'm not wild about that. About with the stitching in it. That would be kind of cool. And then that will be right in the middle. Okay, let's do this. All right, we're going to cut it here. I'm going to cut out the middle of the paper. I'll be right back. How can I not see my lines? Did I cut it backwards? Now, I said we were going to cut it on the other side. Oh, I had it this way, didn't I? I'm going to glue it on there and cut around it. I don't know why I didn't think of that in the first place. Make sure you don't glue this top part or you won't have a pocket. Okay, I'm going to cut this. It's not time for anything yet, Oz. He thinks it's time to EHE. But it's NOT. So if you're going to do this, you know, you could ink it beforehand like I did because I forgot I was going to put a back on it. Or you can just wait and ink the whole thing. I'm thinking, you know, I could make a library tag out of this. You know what I'm saying? Like leave this back on here. How tall is this? Wow, that's barely going to fit. No, I'm going to go ahead and cut it off. I'm going to leave just a little bit so you can slide your card in there easier. And I can trim this just a little bit so it fits a little bit better on that panel. That's better. Okay, so we'll put it here. I'm going to round these corners up here. I'm going to ink the outside. So we get just a little bit of ink at the top. All right. Now, if we glue this on as a pocket, we can double card it. Okay? Boy, our brains are going now, huh? I really wish we had time to do the ephemera and stuff. But all we do is build today, I guess. I had grand plans, that's the problem, right? And this doesn't have to go all the way to the bottom to the edge to where it might stick out. You know, you can leave a little bit here as long as it's straight. That's pretty cool. All right. Oh, I trimmed this down, remember? Okay, so this is going to go in behind the window. And then this needs to be trimmed just a little bit. We can get that whole tag behind it, I think. Well, I'm so glad I cut out all those sunflowers. No, like I said, I'm going to finish up the ephemera on it. And then we'll have just done the building. I don't know if I'm going to put the pocket here or not. I'm definitely not putting anything here but the little thing at the top. That's the cover. I better do something. All right. Maybe I'll do a diagonal pocket here. That sounds fun. Will this pocket work? Can I just cut it down to be in a... I don't think so. And you can use these Not, you know, you don't have to glue them down. You can stick them in the pockets too. They look neat that way. The sunflowers do. Can't. Trying to do this fast and I just can't get it to. Having trouble. Kind of crinkled him up. I'm not going to ink the back right now. I'll come back and do it. Oh, the glue's dry. It's too wide. Alright, we're going to have to take something else and use this over here in our sideways pocket. I'm wondering, we could, but if we make a pocket out of this, we don't have anything left small enough to put in the small pocket, do we? Yes, we do. It's all here. In fact, make this into a tuck. Instead of a diagonal, we'll do a tuck. Don't have a lot of room to work there anyway. It'd be hard to fit a card in a diagonal pocket. This project isn't that, you know, that large. All right, so you just do the bottom and one side, depending on where you're putting it. Got those strings going everywhere. Make sure you don't put it on the fold. Okay, and we're going to put additional cards in here. We've got, how about this cut down one? Yeah, this will fit in here. I have to ink it now that I trimmed it all down, and I'll make it a little shorter, but I still want the word layaway there. So we'll put this, you know what I mean, and some of these all in here, and we'll decorate, I'll decorate the belly band, and I'll decorate here, and here, and on the cards a little bit, okay? And then, I'll find a card for here, maybe I can do that now. Oh, that's the same one. That'll fit. I may have to trim just a smidge. And then we'll find smaller ones or cut smaller ones. I may have to print some more of all those pages. Yeah, that fits fine now. I'm going to make it easier. Cut around all four corners and make a little card out of it. Then we ink it. And then that'll be all we have time for today. Yeah, we're at 55 minutes. So now don't forget to go visit everybody else in the collaboration. There's new ones every day. Plus, you can use the list below the video to go to their YouTube channels anytime. You can just save that. It'll be underneath each video that's published. Everybody's putting the same thing underneath. right? So your list will be their clickable list of YouTube links. And you've got your, whatchamacallit, playlist link. And links to the shops. And really, don't forget to go over there and, what did I do? Okay, I'll fix that. It's just a little close because of that pocket thingy that I put on there that I made out of the window. There we go. That'll fix it. Okay, so we don't have to tie it shut. Once I put all those little cards and sunflowers and stuff in there, then I probably will. If I do, I'm just going to take this thin cream colored ribbon, and that's not very thick at all. I don't want to take away from it, and then put a, pretty bow right there. Now, you can do one of two things. You cannot put this here, put it in the middle on the inside, and then glue this to your page and have it open. Or you can do it like this, and then put it in a big, maybe a belly band would be best. And to hold all this. Okay? All right. Well, thank you very much for watching me. I really appreciate you. And thank you for giving it a thumbs up. You did, didn't you? And I will see you guys on the 15th for my next video. And then I think I'm going to put the other one in between now and the 15th. Get them all done for you so you can start crafting and doing them. And once again, thanks, Mandy. Thanks, Julie. And I'll definitely be back next year, too, if I can get myself coordinated, huh, guys? Okay. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you later. Bye.